IDEANCE process step 5 next to supersize and grow your business. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. And today we're going to talk about step 5 of the process we created this year in January. We created a new process, or we redefine a process and make it our own at the beginning of each year as part of the annual challenge. This year's annual challenge is the Be a Better You annual challenge. We're doing one thing every day to be a better person, a better version of ourselves. And we're using the IDEANCE process on the life framework area each month as a way of achieving a goal that we really want, a big, hairy, audacious goal by the end of the year, or as a way of dealing with a financial challenge that we're having. Financial this month, but maybe it's a mental or an emotional or a spiritual challenge. Whatever it is for you, each month we focus and we pick one thing, either a goal or a challenge we want to achieve by the end of the year. So we picked our financial goal or challenge a couple of days ago, and now we're on step 5 of the process. And that step is next. What's next? Well, what we want to do on this step is we want to reflect and ask ourselves, well, how did the action that we took yesterday work toward moving us to filling the gap between where we are and where we want to be? Did we pay off the debt? Did we, or did that step help us to pay off the debt or find the funding or plan the project, whatever it is financially that we want to do and that our goal or our challenge area is? I like to do a couple of things on this step. Number one, I ask myself, well, how am I going to know? How do I know? How do I measure if I'm making progress or not? And lucky for us, financial areas are super easy to measure. There's lots of numbers involved, which makes it simple to track our progress. So if it's we're paying off a debt, well, how much did we pay? How often are we paying? When are we paying? How long is it going to take us to pay at that rate? Do we need to find a way to speed it up, etc.? If it's to achieve a financial goal or level of sales, all we do is we track our sales, or we pick a number that makes sense to track, and we track that and pay attention to it. So I like to do a couple of things here as I'm reflecting. I have to ask myself, do I even know if it worked yet or not? And then how am I going to know? And then over time, over the course of between now and the end of the year for this particular financial area, I'm going to keep track of my wins. I'm going to keep track of ongoing challenges, things that still aren't working yet. Notice I say yet because I'm going to figure out how to make them work. And then finally, what adjustments am I making, right? A lot of times we have a plan, we implement the plan, but we don't document the journey along the way. So we tweak and we change and we test and we make adjustments, but we lose track of those. So next time we're faced with a similar situation, it's like we're reinventing the wheel and we're having to do the same thing over again. But if we document our journey, we have a reference to go back to and say, oh, well, this is what we did last time that worked. So instead of having to try 5 things, you just go to the last thing that worked, you try that first. Good idea. Great time saver and productivity enhancer. So today, what are we going to do? We're going to ask ourselves, did the action that we took yesterday work? Do we not know yet? Now, if we don't know yet, or if it didn't work, what are we going to do today? What's next? We're going to take another action, right? We're going to test and tweak, we're going to make an adjustment, and we're going to take another action. If we already know that it didn't work, or we don't know yet, even if we don't know yet, we're going to take another action today. Why? Because we really want to achieve this goal by the end of the year. So we're not going to sit on our laurels and wait to find out. We're going to keep moving along the way, which is part of why the documenting is so important, because it helps us to really know what worked and what didn't work. Especially if it takes 2 weeks for me to find out if the action that I took yesterday worked or not, I'm not going to wait 2 weeks to do anything. I'm going to do something tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day. I'm going to document what it is, and I'm going to ask myself, well, how do I know if it worked or not? How am I going to measure it so that I can compound the efforts of time and get some momentum going to achieve the thing that it is that I want? All right, any questions about this? Hit me up and ask. All we're doing is we're writing down wins, how are we going to know, how are we going to measure it, adjustments we make along the way, so document the journey along the way. Why? Because it helps us be more effective next time. All right, have an awesome day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.